Welcome to another exciting educational video brought to you by Christolite Tutors. Master calculations, excel in science, learn anytime. So sit tight as we go through the videos for today. We're looking at JAMB maths, and I will have some past questions in the areas of trigonometry and geometry. So we'll dive in. The first question here we have is JAMB 2025, and we're asked to find the length or distance between point A and point B. The coordinates of point A and B is given in the question. You can see the coordinates put in brackets like this. So we'll need to define this point. This is point A, defined as coordinate 3 and 4. What that means is x1 is 3 and y1 is 4 for point A. And from point B, x1 is 1 and y2 is x2 is 1 and y2 is minus 2. Okay, so we'll recall that there is a formula for distance between these 2 points, and the formula is given as distance d is equals to the square root of x2 minus x1 all square plus y2 minus y1 all square. So actually, this is the line that defines that equation. The 2 points are given, so this is 1 point here and this is 1 point here. Okay, so we'll quickly substitute into the equation where we see x1 we have minus 3, x2 we have minus 1, and y1 we have 4, then y2 we have minus 2. So we'll put in the equation, this equation. By the time you put it, you have this. That is d is equals to square root of open bracket 1 minus and then open another bracket minus 3 or square plus open bracket minus 2 minus 4 all square. So you simplify this first to give us 1 plus 3, because plus minus minus is plus. Okay, so I have it as 1 plus 3 all square, then minus 2 minus 4 is minus 6. That's why we have minus 6 here. By the time you resolve this, 1 plus 1, 1 plus 3 all square is 1 plus 3 is 4, and 4 square plus 6 square will give us 16 plus 36. So d is equals to root 52. So root 52 is option D answer. So move to the second question. Okay, so this is from still JAMB 2025. It says find the midpoint between the line joining P coordinates 2 and minus 3 and Q coordinates 6 and 5. So the midpoint. So let's say we have a line like this, and this is point P, and point P has 2 minus 3, and point Q has 6 and 5. So we have to find the midpoint. Midpoint is a line like this, maybe this point here. It's a coordinate at this point. Let's call it, uh, let me call it A, coordinate A, point A with coordinate x1 and y1. Okay, so our goal is to find that point. So we are given the point actually. So the formula for midpoint is x1 plus x2 over 2. That's over 2. That will give us one of the coordinates, that is x1 coordinates, and y1 plus y2 over 2 will give us y coordinates. Okay, So the next thing we'll do is to substitute values. Okay, substitute the values. So we have written the values for x1 and x2. Okay, I can bring it from here, so that x1 is 2, x2 is 6, then y1 is 6. Sorry, y1 is minus 3, and y2 is equals to 5. So this will be substituted in this equation to get this 2 plus 6 over 2. That is 2 plus 6 over 2, and minus 3 plus 5 over 2, just as it's written here. So we'll simplify. So this first one is resolved to give 8 over 2, and this second set is resolved to give 2 over 2. So the answer is 4 and 1. The correct option is A. Okay, so we go to the next question, number 3, 2024. It says, what is the gradient of the line that passes through coordinates -2 and 3 and coordinates 4 and 1? Mind you, always you have the set of coordinates. The first set the number is x1, second number is y1, then the third one, the second coordinates x2 first point and y2 second point. Okay, so gradient is just like getting the slope. There's a formula, there's an equation of the slope of a line, right? So I'm going to show us here. So given the points from here, given the point x1 uh, to be -2, x1 to be -2, and y1 to be 3, then x2 to be 4, and y2 to be -1. Just follow the way it is written here in the question. So recall that the formula for the slope is m is equals to y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1, as given in the question. So actually, this is how it looks like. Let's say this is a point. Let's say this is the point, and I will just use this as an example. Let's say that the first point is -2 and 3. Second point here is 4 and -1. This is just like an example. You see that it is this line that we're looking for the slope. So you have y2 minus y1 uh, all over x2 minus x1. So if we substitute the values that we have here in this equation like this, substitute it, you see that where I have y2, I put 1 minus 1. Where I have y1, I put -3, or 3, sorry, because there's a minus in the formula. So where I have x2, I put 4, according to what I have here. And where I have x1, I put -2, according to what I have here. All right, so I will simplify. So -1 and -3 will give me -4, and 4 minus -2 will give me 6. So by the time I can resolve this to the lowest term, that is 3 here, 2, 3 here, 3. Okay, so that I have 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 should be the final answer. Correct answer is B. So we'll have B here. Okay. So the next question is JAMB 2024. It says the equation of a line in a slope interface intercept form is y is equals to 3x minus 2. What is the slope? What is the slope? So straight up, this is the line coordinates y and x axis. So if I have the line like this, understand, line like this. So the slope is what we're looking for. Slope is change in y all over change in x, change in x. right? Normally, if you have y is equals to mx plus c, we define slope as the coefficient of x, which is m, and the intercepts is c. Y and x are variables, right? So by direct comparison, if I have y is equals to 3x minus 2, this is my variable y, this is my variable x, this is the slope coefficient of the variable, so this is the slope, and 2 is the intercept. So my slope is 3. Okay, I've actually done that on plain text. So the slope is 3, right? Okay. So there's a question on the board, 2025 JAMB. It says if line L is perpendicular to y is equals to 2x plus 3. So if I have this line like this, if this line is y is equals to 2x plus 3, sorry, 2x plus 3. So they said if another line perpendicular to it, so if this is the line perpendicular to it, what is the gradient of the line? So this is the line we're looking for, gradient of this line. Already we have the gradient of this line here. Gradient of this line, y is equals to 2x plus 3. The gradient is already 2. So what will happen to the gradient of this line as we look at? So given the line, y is equals to x plus 2x plus 3, and this is how it looks like. Just like I have illustrated here. So it said the gradient of the slope is 2. So recall the rule for perpendicular lines. If two lines are perpendicular, the product of their gradient is minus 1. So I have m1, one gradient of one line, m2, the other gradient of the other line. The two of them product will give me minus 1. So this is just a formula. All right. So it therefore means that if I put 2 here as m1 and m2 is what I'm looking for, understand? I can make m2, so it's a formula, that's what I've done here, to give me my gradient of my perpendicular line. So the key thing is to know this formula. This is the formula for perpendicular line. So if two lines are perpendicular, the product of their gradient will give us minus 1. m1 times m2 will be minus 1 if m1 and m2 are perpendicular lines. So the answer is C, minus 1 over 2. Okay. So the next question here, number 6, says sum of interior angles of a hexagon is. The first thing we ask ourselves, what's a hexagon? Hexagon is a polygon. So, and it just depends on the number of sides that polygon has. Um, I have different kinds of polygons. I have triangles. I have quadrilateral. I have uh, pentagon. I have hexagon. So triangle has 3 sides, quadrilateral has 4 sides, pentagon has 5 sides, hexagon has 6 sides. So the formula for the interior angle of a polygon with n side is n minus 2 times 180, where n is the number of sides. And I've said before that hexagon has 6 sides. That is why I'm having here as 6 sides. So if I put this in the formula, I'm going to be getting 720 as my answer. Okay, why? Because when I say uh, n minus 2 times 180, where n is 6, so if I put 6 here, 6 minus 2 times 180, 6 minus 2 is 4 times 180, and when you do the products, you have 720 degree. So the answer is B. Okay, go to the next question. So this is number 7, and it's JAMB 2022. It says in a triangle, one angle measures 50 degrees and the other Another measures 6 degree, find the third. This is actually very simple. Uh, Recall that the sum of the interior angles in a triangle is 180. Okay, so if I were to draw the triangle like this, and I label the sides A, B, and C, and I'm told that one is 50 degree, the other side is 60 degree, and the third side is what we're looking for. So if I say y dot side plus 50 degree plus 60 degree is equals to 180, this is consistent to the rule that says the sum of interior angles in the triangle is 180. All right. So by the time I add up these two, the way I did here, so y plus 110 is equal to 180. So at this point, I just have a simple equation where y unknown. Uh, I can now subtract both sides by 110. So y is equals to 180 minus 110, and that will give me 70 degrees. So 70 degree is the answer, and the option is B. Okay, so this jump question says if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal and one interior angle is 110, its corresponding angle is. Okay, so the idea here is that two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, corresponding angles are equal. So when two parallel lines are cut by transversal, corresponding angle are equal. I will show you how. So these are the parallel lines, this line and this line, and this is the transversal. By the time you have a transversal like this one angle here is 110, and this one is also 110. This rule is this what they call alternate angles being equal. So the identity, so if you identify that the given angle is 110, then the corresponding angle is equal. Corresponding angle is equal. Okay, well, what I'm having here, like this, shown here, is what they call the alternate angle. Corresponding angle actually is like the angle here corresponding with the angle here, or the angle here or the angle here, right? Okay, so corresponding angle is 110, the same thing as this one. Okay, so okay, I will explain it again in another word. So this is 110, this is 110, this is what they call um, alternate angle. This one is 110, this one is also 110. This one is known as corresponding angle. Why? Because this side and this side is corresponding. This side and this side are corresponding. This angle and this angle are corresponding. Likewise, this angle and this angle are corresponding. Okay, so the correct answer is actually 110. Okay, now so number 9 is from 2025 last year. It says in a triangle ABC, AB and AC are equal. What kind of triangle is it? So I will visualize the triangle again. This is this triangle. So if this one is A, side A, and this side is side B, this is side C. So identify AB. AB, this line AB, is equal to AC. This line AC. So this has given you isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle properties is that two sides are equal, two angles here are also equal. So if two sides are equal, uh, they are isosceles triangle. So scalene is all sides are different, and the equilateral triangles, all sides are equal, right? Right angle triangle has one angle of 90 degree. So this is actually a isosceles triangle. All right. So I've been able to identify the kinds of triangle. Uh, One, scalene. Scalene has all sides different. Two, isosceles triangle have two sides equal. The equilateral triangle has all three sides equal, and the right angle triangle has angle, one angle of 90 degree. Okay, number 10 question here says find the exterior angle of a triangle if the interior opposite sides or opposite angles are 40 and 60. So find the exterior angle of a triangle if the interior opposite angles are 40 and 60. So the key rule here is that in a triangle, an exterior is equal to the sum of the two interior opposite remote angles. Okay, so I'll draw this in the diagram. So I have a triangle like this. So this one is what they call the exterior angle, E, and this side are the two opposite interior angles. So I can call this one small a and small b. So a plus b is equals to E. So this is what this rule is saying here. So to given, identify the angles. So given interior opposite angles. So if this is A 40 and this is B 60, you see that you add them, the sum of them will be giving us the interior angle. So 40 plus 60 will give us E, which is 100. So the 100 is the correct answer for this question, 100 degree. Okay, so number 14 says the locus of point equidistance from two points A and B is. Okay, so when we say locus, locus is like a point. Equidistance means at the center bisecting 2 points. If I have A and B line, A and B line, so the locus is one point here that is cutting these two into two equal halves. Okay, so the key idea is that the locus of point equidistance from two fixed points is the line that cuts this line that cuts uh, the 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 line joining the two of them into two equal parts. So I have this part small a and this part small a. Understand? Okay, so the line is called the perpendicular bisector, right? So recall definition of perpendicular. This one meets the two lines at 90 degree. Bisector divides it into two, right? Okay, so if we're to check the options one by one, circle is not part of it. Circle is not it. Radius is not it. But number C option actually qualifies. So that is a particular bisector. Of course, number D is not the answer. So C is the answer. 12 says the locus of point equidistance from x axis and y axis is. Now distance of a point, this point from the x axis is y, and this point on the y axis is x, right? So we're going to set the distance equal uh, x absolute. X absolute is equals to y absolute, right? So we remove the modulus. So from the options, a is correct. Y is equals to x. So if you check, option C is the one that is written differently. Is uh, every other one is the format, but A is the correct answer. All right. So I hope this video has been informative for you. I'd like to thank you for viewing.